so long is like alchemy.
What a storm of events. Now, this breakdown, I'm operating under the assumption that all of you already know the results and you're here for kind of the hindsight, the why. And I'm here to give it to you. Game 2, Oracle Arena, the usual suspects in the starting lineups for both. And there were signs early on. Y'all. Take a look at this. Is like the first possession. Look at this chuck of a pass from Durant to Clay. Like, you want to talk about not being dialed in to start a game, so out on the break and the rookie gets the easy right-hand spike. Now, again, I know hindsight is 20/20, but look at that release from Steph right there. Like, it went in, right? But that wasn't his patented release. That was kind of a chuck to knock down his first basket of the game. And Patrick Beverley, he's very Rondo-esque, and he's so hard-headed. He's such a competitor that he will shots in, right? He's not going to remain silent because we iced him in that first game. Out in transition, you loved the pace. We got out and ran, I think, 15 first quarter fast break points. But take a look from my notes. They were making some very arrogant passes, and they weren't necessarily getting punished for them early on as the pace was fast. And then this happens, y'all. I must confess, like, usually when a player gets hurt, I have a pity party, right? It's like, oh man, how's that going to affect us? Can we still win it all, right? And this was one of the first times as a fan where I saw a guy got hurt and I didn't really care about us, big picture, or the team, right? It was like, my God, you can't be serious. Because I've spoken about it before, how I've grown to really appreciate DeMarcus, who he is as a man, and to see this happen, it's one of those things where you say, why? Like, what has he done to deserve this? Seriously. And so it's a torn quad. It's a torn quad, y'all. We will not see DeMarcus Cousins the remainder of these playoffs. And initially, I think it kind of gave the Warriors an emotional boost. I don't know if that's the right term, but it made them play harder. You see Draymond pushing the ball in transition, and it was in part the game plan to not let them get back and set their defense. Bogut immediately filled in. Here we go again. 15 fast break points, as I mentioned, in this first quarter. And it becomes fool's gold. It starts to get easy, but you can see the score. They hadn't gained separation yet, and this was the guy that the Clippers needed to show up, Danilo Gallinari, with the step-back three ball. I think Draymond quietly probably was the best Warrior on the floor tonight. I love him attacking, not being afraid, putting pressure on them, drawing fouls on them. This is going to be an interesting matchup, and you saw them kind of play a game of chess. And the thing about Bogut is he's going to remain dynamic. The first thing he tried to do was take the charge, and for whatever reason, Montrezl Harrell gets every call. I don't know if you guys noticed, but Montrezl Harrell gets every call. It's just how it works. Pick and roll game, and Kevon Looney and Draymond Green, the power forward /5 position, was supremely effective on this night. Iguodala, the three ball looks good, man. The arc, it's not too big of a dip in his release, right? His three, I think he's feeling right. Lou Williams, look at this trash, man. I understand he's a scoring savant, but he, out of all the guys that draw cheap ones, he draws the cheapest. I really do believe that. The kick out, watch Draymond with the second effort here. The second effort contest on the three ball. I show that to prepare you for the context of the effort in the second half. Steph, is he overselling these three ball releases? He didn't shoot particularly well, and a lot of them he did that flailing fall down action. Clay shot fine. A lot of his shots, though, were tough shots. Watch Quinn come in here kind of too passive. He passes up an easy three ball right there, and then he's going to get it back, and he passes up another look. And it looks like he's ingrained in the rotation, at least in this playoff round. And I was frustrated with that sequence there. But you're going to see Iguodala bail us out with the putback flush. I like Bogut one-on-one with Harrell in the post. I think he can figure him out. But as far as this pick and roll action goes, I think Looney's our best option at the 5, or Draymond, obviously, right? I just think a guy that has to retreat and drop on that every time, Lou's just going to chew it up. Clay, one of his rare square-up, clean-catch looks. More Montrez, though. This time he goes right at the shot blocker. I was kind of surprised he got this one. I mean, I think he's surprised Bogut puts it on his head top. Let's listen to the coaches.
Keep it moving. Keep it up. Every possession counts, right? Take care of the ball. Box out, right? Lock in now.
You hear it at every level of basketball. Value the possession. I'd like to see KD come down and be a more aggressive and help the help and kind of dare their corner shooters, at least until they're hot. And then just like Rich Kleiman, KD knows he's there, but he still lets his hands in his pockets. The chase down turnover, KD was absolutely miserable, valuing the possession. Thankfully, Looney was everywhere to start this game, right? And honestly, it was time to let the Loon shine. Takes it right to Trez. We've got to try to get Montrez in foul trouble to back off his aggression. And here is the ongoing theme of the night.
Every possession counts, right? Take care of the ball.
That was Durant's second, I just really don't give a fuck who I'm passing the ball to turnover in the half. Boy, and then Gallinari is got to have one of the ugliest games in the league. Like, how many, barely rattle, touch, foul, score baskets can he get? He's a frustrating scorer to watch when you're the opponent, right, or rooting against him, because you're like, dude, this dude shouldn't be scoring. There's the backdoor lob to Durant. Kerr dialed it up from the sideline. But the story in this second quarter was Kevon Looney's ability to finish around the basket. We've been talking about it now for a few weeks, how dynamic and confident he's got, and it really showed in the second quarter here. And then more Pat Beverly and the competitive juices. He's going to find a way to affect the game. He's going to will the ball into the basket. And if he's going to give them 10 points, that's found money for them. How many did Loon have in the second quarter? He had 14 points at the half, right? This was a career and playoff high. And you notice that Steph, towards the end of the first half, he likes to get it going. There's the simple high pick and roll. Steve Kerr, can we please run more of those? Can we please run more of those? Again, more Beverly, and you kind of got to play the percentages. It'll be interesting to see game 3 if they continue to leave him out there, or if they feint, stunt, or they completely close out on him. And Steph, remember how it used to be third quarter Steph? Now it really is second quarter Steph. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but to end second quarters, these flurries have become commonplace as he knocks the corner 3 ball down in the rookie's face. And what's the theme when he gets going? It's simple. The high pick and roll with the ball in his hand. No one in the league is better with that. The threat that he can attack with, it's just so dynamic. I got a theory with Looney. I think he saw how willing and happy the team was to let Boogie eat in the paint, that it's kind of boosted his confidence. It's given him a bigger green light to try to finish everything he catches in the paint. Perfect execution to end the half. Steph, another one. So after losing DeMarcus early on and really kind of some sloppy turnovers, they're still up 23 headed into the half.
Every possession counts, right? Take care of the ball.
And again, man, the word that comes to mind with some of these passes is just arrogance. Like, that pass was arrogant as fuck. I gotta keep it real with you. Okay, Draymond, I didn't know he had the little spin move dump off to Bogut, and I think Bogut playing more now will only help Draymond and feed his game. And then you're gonna see Klay. This is where he got all his touches, right there on the baseline there. You saw him tilting, he knocks it down. But mind you, coming out of the half, I think that it probably had settled in now. They realize the severity of DeMarcus's injury as you see Draymond knock this down, but that does take an emotional toll on you. Let's just keep it real. Ballmer, keep that same energy, bro. Now watch this call here. That's Steph's 4th foul. That's appalling to me. I'm sorry. Look, we can blame the Warriors, but there was a lot of funky shit in this game, including that call. Let me bring that back, though, because that's ridiculous, a 4th foul on an MVP there. You're telling me that's a foul after the way they're allowing Beverly to guard Durant? So Quinn Cook enters the game 8:40 in the third quarter. And hey, let's give him credit. He came in and he knocked down some jumpers. But it's interesting that you would go with an offensive substitution when you're nursing a big lead. Wouldn't you put in the superior defender in one Sean Livingston and then more Euro trash from Gallinari? Take a look at this. This is what I'm talking about. It's hard to accept him as a scorer. Look at him hook Bell and then flail back and get the whistles. But at this point, we were still rolling. We were still pushing the ball. We were still attacking. And this is where Smart Me decided to tweet this out. As we were up 30 and it didn't look like we were going to take our foot off the pedal, but of course, I was wrong. Absolutely no effort by Durant to secure that ball or hustle back and get back in this play defensively. And the Clippers playing twice as hard, get to every loose ball, and Kerr has to call a timeout. But interestingly enough, he leaves Quinn Cook out there to get abused by Lou Williams and let him catch fire. And I'll be honest, I think DeMarcus was on their mind. Look at this offensive set here. Now, this is a funky lineup, right? But they're just completely discombobulated, and it looks like something else is on their mind, and it's probably their 7-foot teammate, how devastated they are for him. Now, Cook, he pops the 3 ball here. But to me, it was super evident we needed Livingston in there because you know the type of scorer that Lou is. Durant takes a bow. Remember, he got knocked in the rib from Gallinari in game 1, so that was a sore spot, and things started to get chippy. This is what the Clippers were going to do. And Beverly set out and executed exactly what he wanted to do. He got Durant in foul trouble, he got him out of pocket, he got him over aggressive, and he got him passive offensively. There's a backdoor cut, it was just never even there. Right? It was never even there as the Clippers just kept playing, and it's more Lou just slicing and dicing Quinn Cook to the hoop. Look, Durant's going to have to adjust, but what Beverly's doing, he's in his jock, and Durant's arms are so long, he never gets away with the push-off, but they've got to allow Durant a little more room to operate. Watch this contest from Klay Thompson. Right? That's not a Klay contest. You can see the effort level just disappeared. And look, Durant's gonna have to play better, point blank. But look at the physicality they're playing him with. Elbow shots, grabbing, pushing, in his I understand why he's in foul trouble and frustrated, right? We've got to change it, but you can see why he's acting that way. So who does Kerr go to? Alfonso McKinney. Lou takes one look at him and lights his ass up. The one big weakness Durant has is his physical weakness. He's all alone up there, but he calls double screens, and now he's just swarmed and he throws the ball away, right? But when the playoffs get physical and these little guys get into him, he doesn't have the physical strength to bully by them. Once again, not valuing that possession. Then Quinn Cook, how about you hard foul Lou Williams? How about you wrap his ass up, Quinn? I'm sick of this pussy shit. Letting Lou waltz to the rim. So Steve inserts Curry for the final possession, and this is just an agenda play. Look, he has the three there. He has the lane, but he passes it to the corner because he had an agenda. He had his mind made up that he was going to pass the ball to Klay and get him a shot. Clippers run it right back down our throat. And look, I got to give Kerr maybe a bit of a pass because he was probably a little bit emotionally disturbed from the DeMarcus injury. But these rotations, man, you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of like someone who likes to drive and see how far they can drive with their tank on E. Right? Like Kerr didn't want to go to the money lineup until it was on E, and we paid the cost. I thought Livingston played excellent in his 11 minutes in the game. Here's another example of not being present in the moment. This is very un-Curry-like. Gets him in the air and doesn't get the shot up. And he knows it. He knows it, right? Their mind is elsewhere. And I'm not trying to make excuses. I'm just telling y'all what I see. What Bogut's going to have to figure out is if you gap Montrez, he's going to suck up that space and move downhill and bump you out of the way. He's that strong. He gets the finish there. And then Livingston again. I thought he came. Is he on a minutes restriction? We know the knee's swelling up on him, but 11 minutes and then he closes out on the three ball. He came out in this fourth quarter acting like, yo, I should have been in the damn game. And then you've got Lou and Trez eating us up in a pick and roll. And look who Kerr has out on the floor. Jerebko and Bogut are two slowest footed players on the roster. He didn't knock that down, but he was too comfortable. He was getting everything he wanted. Meanwhile, Steph settling for long contested 2-pointers. And so this was, you want to talk about the storm of events, more Montrez at the all-you-can-eat buffet right at the front of the rim. All right, let me throw a highlight in here. It wasn't all negative, right? I mean, we were blowing them out by 30. When we're dialed in, we are such a superior team that lies the problem. Bogut with the big block. And then, hey, man, you think I enjoy calling this, but I got to show it. This is what I do. This is the breakdown. This is the story of the game. Steph being bullied at half court for the turnover and Gallinari with the dunk as we continue to give them life. Watch Klay on the weak side here. Look at his activity. And then the touch foul and one. Like I said, the whistles didn't help, but frankly, they deserved it. And Klay, it was very uncharacteristic of Klay to be the one to take the foot off the pedal. And again, I lean back to the DeMarcus injury. I think it was weighing heavy on all of their minds. But sometimes they need to abandon this offense and just go to high pick and rolls. Look where we end up here with this Bogut jump hook because Steph and Klay, they're not moving off ball. The Clippers are more active. They're shutting down Draymond. Oh, let's leave their one good shooter in the corner. Gallo knocks it down. It's a single-digit game. Lou's rolling, and then if you breathe on him, he gets the tweet. He gets the tweet, the and one, and Steve Ballmer's not keeping that same energy with him and his less than intelligent offspring. So they're getting every touch whistle, but Patrick Beverly is allowed to sniff Durant's nuts every time down the court and hook him. So finally they call something and KD goes to the line, and this dude's pulling out all the stops. Look at him wobbling at the free throw line. And look, I have no doubt his mother probably drank until full term with him. So honestly, it's kind of admirable how far he's come in his life. Lou Williams banging the glass on us. And now they're not just back in the game. They think they're going to win this game. take a look at this pass. See, the turnovers, there was ones that we got away with. Like, look at that pass. What in the world are you doing, Steph Curry? Now, you know Draymond's going to be heard from in the end of this game, right? He flops and draws the 6th foul on Patrick Beverley. Kevin Durant says thank you. And they need to attack Beverley. I'll say it like it is. They need to flop with Beverley and make sure he can't do what he's been doing. And then Draymond, the big hammer down the middle. Is he going to put away this Clippers team? But at this point, even if you're playing good defense, Lou's feeling it, right? Sweet Lou's feeling it. Now he's hitting leaners, falling out of bounds. He answers with the basket. Here's head knock. Shamit's on him, but you see Gallows right there and Steph indecisive. Why don't we just clear out and call high pick and rolls? I think Kerr overcomplicates things. Maybe it's just a bit of smartest guy in the room syndrome, but why not just spread out and pick and roll with 2 of our MVPs? Here's one finally, and there's the switch. There's the solution to the Beverley problem. Clear out, force the switch, and let Durant go to work at the rim. Now here's a play that's kind of not really being talked about, but was huge. Durant picks up the ball. He's in his layup package. That's a dunk. He's in motion, but it's called a charge. Remember what I said? Montrezl Harrell doesn't foul people. He only draws fouls. It doesn't matter offense, defense. By the letter of the law, if the offensive player is already up into his shot, then you have to be stationary, and that's not the case. Montrezl, yeah, he got planted, but Durant was already in his layup motion. Now with 5 fouls, you think he's going to take it to the rack? No, he's going to settle for the 3, and he's way off. On the other end, keep that same energy. Lou Williams, yeah, he's going to draw the foul. He's going to draw the foul after he draws the contact. We've talked all year long about mistreating the referees and how we need to show some finesse towards them and how Durant in particular hasn't. And that's what's happening right now. He is not getting MVP type calls because of the way and the reputation he has with the refs. Look at Shamit. That's a heady play. Yeah, he's moving a bit, but Shamit sold the shit out of that to foul out Kevin Durant. And then Lou, snake dribble, doing what he wants. Too comfortable. A microwave scorer like Lou Williams, you can't let him catch fire, and that's what we did. Steph, does he have an answer? The rookie's on him. He gets off the 3, knocks it down. Are we going to get a shimmy or a point to the sky? No, there would be none of that. These guys were emotionally detached from the end of this game. Clay iso'd on Lou. He rejects the screen and hits him with the pump fake and the soft, leaning floater. After a missed Clay 3, the Clippers have a chance. Miscommunication, Draymond the late closeout, and it's the rookie Shamit with a huge 3-ball to give the Clippers a 2-point lead with 15 seconds left. So here we go. Steve Kerr, what are you going to draw up, Steve? What are you going to draw up? A pick and roll? A pick and roll, Steve? What are we going to draw up? It didn't look like much. Look, it was a clean look, but again, I wasn't a big fan of however they executed that plan. Hard to say if that's what they wanted or not. And the Clippers complete the largest comeback in playoff history at Oracle Arena, tying this series at 1-1. Is the sky falling? No. But obviously we're going to be worried. We don't know the cost of this loss. How long does this series stretch? Is there more casualties of war beyond DeMarcus Cousins? How long does the Houston-Utah series go? We won't know what the cost of this loss will be until these first round series play out and how long it takes to close this Clippers team out. Because make no mistake, we will close them out. I expect a vengeful championship team in Los Angeles on Thursday. I'm out, y'all.
So long.